On September 23, 2021, at approximately 2 a.m., when most of the city was asleep, a disturbing incident occurred in Concourse Village, Bronx, New York City. A quite peaceful night in the neighborhood. A 50-year-old woman was walking home from work when she noticed two men outside the building who appeared suspicious and made her uncomfortable, because one of those men decided to follow her inside. Now, this man was Orisha Lucky, 41 years old, and what the woman didn't know at the time was that this wasn't just some random guy on the street. This was someone with 37 prior arrests for crimes like burglary, robbery, and assault. This man followed the woman into the building and slowly stalked her from the elevator where this happened.
Open up the door. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Orisha immediately put his foot down to try to stop the door from closing, as the victim was trying to get away from him. He then tried the doorknob, rang the doorbell, and had the audacity to talk to her, asking her to open the door, but eventually he left. You see, Orisha Lucky had an extensive criminal history, and this incident occurred in a neighborhood with notable crime trends, which likely made the victim more vulnerable. According to the victim, she had never seen this man before, which suggests this was not a targeted personal attack, but rather a random act, possibly driven by his criminal tendencies. This was a complete stranger, someone who likely picked her at random because she happened to be alone.
There was two guys like outside, right? And they were just like looking suspicious. He followed me inside the building and he said miss twice.
Papi, open up the door, bro.
I came inside and then right away I just screamed, somebody's following me. Like he was literally 1 second from coming inside. I feel very scared. Like I was saying, what if I had the top door locked? What if, like, it was literally just 1 second. If I had the top lock, he could have got of me.
Even though this area has a history of crime, this building's front entrance wasn't even locked. There was no security guard, no access code, nothing to stop someone from just walking in off the street. And in a neighborhood already known for rising crime, that makes this even more dangerous. The victim, terrified by the incident, said she was very lucky to have been able to get away from him. Thankfully, security footage caught the entire thing, and once it was shared online, people in the community helped police identify him. Orisha was arrested and charged with burglary. Honestly, her awareness of her surroundings and the fact that she being able to get away from him is a miracle, because if her door hadn't locked in time, if she had hesitated even for a second, if he had been carrying a weapon, she might not be alive today to tell the story. And in a city as big as New York, that's the kind of close call that happens more often than we want to believe. Dirt biking is one of those sports that gives you a rush like no other, but sometimes that excitement can turn into a nightmare in just a few seconds. On October 25, 2024, a rider named Brigham was out with a group of fellow bikers exploring the wild and unforgiving terrain of Moab, Utah, a place that's world famous for its extreme off-road trails and stunning rocky views. Moab is not for beginners. It's known for its steep climbs, sharp turns, and long stretches of slick rock and sand dunes that test even the most experienced riders. And that's exactly what Brigham had come for. He wasn't new to dirt biking. In fact, he loved it. It was his passion. But that day, something went wrong.
Holy smokes, where are they going? That's like actually really dangerous. Oh no. Oh no. Watch out. Oh snap. Okay, stop there. See if you can walk down towards him. Walk towards him, Mason. Walk down towards him. Hold on. You okay? I'm coming. I'm coming, man. I'm coming. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. Where does it hurt?
As the group was making its way across one of the challenging hills, Brigham's bike suddenly stalled near the base of a climb. In that split second, when his bike lost momentum and balance, the machine tipped over and sent both him and the bike tumbling down the side of the hill. He didn't just fall a few feet. He fell somewhere between 60 and 80 feet, crashing hard against the rocky slope, with the bike landing right on top of him. The pain was immediate and unbearable. He started screaming for help, his body crushed under the weight of the bike. He was in so much pain he could barely breathe. When help arrived, they found his pelvis shattered, his right arm broken, and internal bleeding coming from his kidneys and liver. It was clear this wasn't just a fall, this was life-threatening. A medical team rushed him by air ambulance to the nearest major hospital in Grand Junction, Colorado, where surgeons began the first of what would become many attempts to save his life. But the nightmare didn't end there. During his first surgery, which was meant to repair his broken pelvis and damaged arm, doctors made a terrifying discovery: blood clots in his lungs, a serious and possibly deadly complication. As if that wasn't enough, they also found an abscess in his abdomen that required emergency bowel surgery, which meant they had to delay the rest of his treatment. It was a brutal chain of events, one problem leading to another and another, as Brigham fought not just for his recovery, but for his life. But somehow, through the pain, the surgeries, and the hospital days that seemed endless, he made it. Brigham was eventually stable enough to be flown back home to Gilbert, Arizona, where he began his long and painful road to rehabilitation. And even though he survived, this accident became a painful reminder that dirt biking, as thrilling as it is, can turn deadly in an instant. Just one small mistake, one engine failure, one tumble, that's all it takes. Parents are supposed to protect their children. They're meant to offer love, safety, and guidance. But for some children, that's not the reality they're born into. On April 4th, 2025, a 6-year-old girl was found wandering alone under the burning sun, hot, thirsty, and hungry. Her only companion was her dog. A woman spotted the child walking aimlessly through her front yard. She immediately called the police. When officers arrived on the scene, they found the girl exhausted and dehydrated.
So, did they tell you they would be back? So you don't know? So how long have you been here?
Just for a minute, I just came.
I thought that you said that you've been here since morning.
I woke up and I just came.
Okay, from where though?
From a city.
Cool. These should fit you perfectly.
To
These are
protect it.
brand new.
It's okay, girl.
Here, I'll hold her while you talk to her, okay? Where are those wipes I got you? Here we go.
So what about school? Are you in school? You're not in school? You're gonna be homeschooled?
Yeah.
So you never been to school before? And how old are you? You're 6?
About 7.
They walked you to the park? Both mommy and daddy? And did they tell you they were gonna be back? No? Okay.
The woman who made the call, along with a neighbor, quickly brought the girl food, water, and some clean clothes. Paramedics later checked her vitals. Thankfully, she was okay, but that didn't explain why she was alone to begin with. At first, officers thought it might have been a case of a child wandering off, but what they learned next changed everything. The girl didn't have a home nearby, she didn't go to school, and she had no idea where her parents were. After a deeper investigation, police discovered that the child's mother and her boyfriend had deliberately dropped her off in the area earlier that morning.
Yeah, we're gonna take you for a ride.
That'd be fine. Tell them, they better turn the lights on so you can see them. Alright, you guys good?
Yeah. No, we just wanted to make sure she was okay.
Yeah. All her vitals are sitting out well.
Okay. All right, you ready?
Alright, here.
What's your puppy's name again?
Ghost.
So,
Look at you.
so
You.
Ghost can't ride in the police car, but you're gonna see Ghost once you get done. Once we get done with our ride, you'll get to see Ghost after that, okay? All right, so I'll hold on to Ghost. She's gonna ride with Deputy.
They had left her to fend for herself. It wasn't a mistake. It was intentional. Authorities quickly located the mother and her boyfriend. Both were taken into custody and charged with child desertion.
It somehow made sense today. Just the kid on the side of the road with the dog back here.
No, we're homeless and we live in the forest.
What does all have to do with leaving your kid on the side of the fucking road?
She got out of where she was at, where we were staying
your
at.
kid up like a dog to you?
No, I didn't.
I have no clue.
I was trying to go get water.
No, that's not what I'm trying to explain.
I was trying to go get water and food. We have just been going through a rough time.
You stand over here. We'll talk to you. Yeah.
Later, the girl's grandparents were contacted. They claimed they had no idea what had been happening and took the child into their care. She's now safe, but the emotional damage may already be done. Sadly, cases like this are not rare. There are people out there who simply should not be raising children, and yet the ones who suffer most are always the children themselves, and wondering why the people who were supposed to love them the most simply didn't. Military operations are not just about missions and orders. They're about real people, real danger, and moments that can change everything in the blink of an eye. Around 2011, deep in the Kunar province of eastern Afghanistan, a group of soldiers from the 101st Airborne Division were carrying out a mission. Kunar, for those who don't know, is a rough mountainous area near the Pakistan border. And at that time, it was one of the most dangerous places in the world, a place where the Taliban were known to hide, move, and strike without warning. The soldiers were inside a convoy of MRAP vehicles, heavily armored trucks made to survive IEDs and ambushes, with thick layers of protection on all sides. In one of those vehicles, a young American turret gunner was standing up through the hatch, scanning the area, ready to protect his team. But then, something terrifying happened.
Ah, shit! You hit in the head. Fuck. Hey, keep going. Sit up, sit up. Where at, brother? Get up, let go. Get up, let go. Stay man. Sit up.
Your helmet save you, man.
Sit up. Hey, is he all right?
Hang on.
Sit up. He's bleeding a little bit, but he's gonna be all right. Hey, start shooting. Start shooting. Holy shit, man. Look at the inside. Holy shit.
In the middle of the mission, while the team was actively engaging enemy forces, a sniper round was fired from somewhere in the distance. It traveled across the air at high speed and struck the gunner directly in the helmet. For a few seconds, everything went quiet. The shot didn't just glance off, it actually pierced the Kevlar helmet. And for anyone who understands military gear, that's extremely serious. Kevlar helmets are meant to stop smaller bullets, shrapnel, and blasts. But this wasn't just a random shot, it was likely a high-velocity sniper round, probably from a Dragunov SVD, a rifle commonly used by Taliban fighters. The gunner, hit and shaken, immediately dropped back inside the MRAP. His teammate rushed to check on him, helping him take off his helmet and look at the damage. Inside the helmet, you could clearly see the hole left behind by the round. Somehow, despite the bullet punching through, he was still alive. He was dizzy, confused, probably in shock, but he was talking. He had a concussion, but no life-threatening injuries. It was a miracle. The soldiers quickly adapted. Another gunner took over the turret, and the MRAP kept moving forward, staying in the fight. There was no time to stop, no time to break down. Now, oddly enough, this story didn't show up in any major news reports, but it spread quietly through forums, videos, and online posts. One Reddit user, who goes by the name Turkish Rambo 30, claimed that he actually went to high school with the gunner who got hit. He said the guy ended up with just a concussion and he was fine. No medals, no headlines. Just another close call in a war zone full of them. It's stories like these that remind you how close soldiers come to death and how sometimes a few inches of material or just pure luck can be the difference between life and something far worse.